A Saturday like any other. The weather 17 years ago was nice, just like today, Natalia says. The whole family went to watch the air show, while the kids with the other family members went to see the planes parked on display. Natalia and her sister found themselves near what was to become an air crash site.
We stood facing it all and saw the plane first clipping the trees, then the ground. First it cut people, then it burned them. We were lucky, I guess. On that lane, my sister and I were the only ones to survive.
Yarina lost her father and a 9-year-old brother. On the day of the tragic accident, she stayed at home.
As I'm standing here recalling those days, those events, and how everything went, I'm immediately overwhelmed by pain. At times I feel sorry, more for the people who come here. When I look at the parents who buried their 2 or 3 children, whole families gone. I can't wrap my head around this.
Yarina recently found a video online. It showed the crash from an angle she hadn't seen before. The footage shows the last moments in the lives of her family.
Someone shot it with their phone as the plane crashed, and my father and brother stood there holding hands. I see their shadows just as the plane goes down. They begin to run, and that's where the video stops.
Until today, Halina has never come to the scene of the tragedy since she lost her loved ones. 16 years of age at the time, she stayed at home. Her mother, brother, uncle, and nephews went to the show and were all killed in the accident.
Maybe only after about 6 months I began realizing that my mom's gone, and only after that I really began to cry. If I came here in the first few years since it happened, I'd just cry. I didn't want there to be any more pain, but right now it's not too bad.
Halina says she thought a lot about the tragedy and no longer blames anyone for what happened to her family. But after the Sknyliv crash, every Ukrainian should be more responsible at whatever they do in life.
The Sknyliv tragedy is kind of an alarm bell for society, for Ukraine, that one should perform their duty properly. One should always have a proper attitude for their work because at some point, somewhere, people's lives will depend on you.
The Sknyliv airshow tragedy was the biggest of its kind in modern history. During aerobatic display, the Su-27 fighter jet suddenly began losing altitude and landed into a crowd of spectators. It was piloted by a pair of first-class pilots, both of whom managed to eject and survive the accident. Following the investigation, 5 persons involved in putting together the airshow were found guilty of negligence and failure to comply with the flight plan. The pilots were sentenced to 14 and 8 years in prison. None of the indicted pleaded guilty. Ukrainian Falcons, the pilot team they belonged to, was disbanded. Aerobatic displays at air shows were banned. Reported by Lviv for UATV.